a thrilling race back at Sepang for the Malaysian Grand Prix. We are back in the Europe for the first race of the European swing. Welcome everyone to the IWTR World Filler Series Season 4. It's round 4 of the championship. We're here for the European Grand Prix at the Nürburgring in Germany. As the track that sits in the Eiffel Mountains, it has many series come and gone to host a race here. Formula 1, WEC, DTM, GT Series, even the World Rallycross Championship coming here as well. The GP striker layout has been used in F1 since 1984. It only has changed the layout since 2002. And this is the layout that we stuck with ever since. So it's located at Nürburgring, the town of Nürburgring, Germany. 5.148 kilometer circuit of 3.199 miles, 15 corners, 6 to the left and 9 to the right. The track originally opened in 1927, but that is the original Nordschleife layout, or the whole Nürburgring. But that includes like the South Loop and the North Loop as well, as what we call Nordschleife. But in this particular layout, F1 came here in 1984 for the first European Grand Prix. Actually the second European Grand Prix, because in 1983 they hosted at the Brands Hatch, but they also host other races as well in 1985, 1995 and then 2007 and also 2020 when the COVID-19 outbreak happened and they decided to go with the Eiffel Grand Prix. Well, it is good to be back here in the Eiffel Mountains to see these Formula 1 cars drive and race in the Nürburgring circuit once more. I'm your host and your commentator Pauser here. As today, well, what a season it has been since the start of the season 4. As well, you know, last race we have a lot of clutch moves that, you know, Norto Mella made to move on Slaka Trobusarjevic and Harry Jack Brown for the last podium positions back at the Malaysian Grand Prix. But yeah, it is quite a time for them, but now it's time for them to, you know, refocus on the championship, as today we're here in the Nürburgring, Nürburgring, Germany. So without any further ado, well, this track, 5.15 kilometer circuit, it's a long, pretty much almost as long as the Sepang International Circuit in Malaysia as well, but just a few meters shy of the Sepang Circuit. Let's have a look for the starting grid and the formation laps of the European Grand Prix. So starting off for the grid, first time in the season, every Jack Brown gets the pole position alongside him is Peng China. Again, second pole, actually second time that he lined up on the front row in this season. Seb Plebs lines up in third place, a more decent qualifying for him, and Mihaela Savak actually lines up in fourth place once more. Adia Backus, his teammates, lines up in fifth place. Cesar Cohen Jr., she lines up in sixth place, and she also wears the number 6 as well on her race car. Raymond Tanner and Tin Anderson both lines up in row 4. Tanner being, of course, scoring his first points in the World Formula Series last race. Tin Anderson looks to return his former glory, his former form back at the map. Alex Lewan and Mr. Peanut Butter lines up in row 5. Mr. Peanut Butter also scored his first points back at Malaysia as well. Alex Lewan also does score a point back at Malaysia as well. Tuamela, the last race winner, looks pretty comfy for him and looks set to get other decent positions for him in the championship. Nick Koch will lines up in 12th place. She will also be looking to try and get up to the front today. Akatidi Bivona, finally some decent qualifying for him, getting into the mid-pack of the field. And Matthew Falcon lines up in 14th today. Prem Pilch and Simon Witt both lines up in row 8. Witt also having a struggle of a season so far in season 4. He will be lines up in 16th place. Dylan Hope And Zoe Petrosyan lines up in row 9. Petrosyan, of course, scored fastest lap 2 times in a row in India and Malaysia. Now he's going to try to do it all at once again, but now he's starting back at 18th. Dylan Hope as well, starting 17th today. Not going to be his greatest start, but we'll see what happens in the race. Livin Basalek, the home favourite, coming to this race, also with Sepp Plebs, but obviously Basalek gets a worse position. Somehow gets a worse position today. And Zlatko Drubozarjevic, he lines up 20th. After having such a battle, it's almost, well, he just came very close to scoring his first podium back in Malaysia. He lines up 20th today. Luca Farina, the second place, the runner-up from the last race, he lines up P21. A horrible qualifying for him, I'm sure. Sotiris Contagouris lines up in 22nd. Well, another tough qualifying session for him. Jafari Blackwood and Mitch Johnson, the last race winner. Noah Tomella actually is the podium position guy. The last podium position back at last race. Mitch Johnson, of course, coming off of the win back at Sepang. It will certainly get him some hopes up, but seems like he's returned back to his reality of qualifying session being terrible for him. Lines up in P24. And rounding out the field is Seren Kaya and Flondre Wilson. And Kaya, of course, still struggling, same with, well, probably a similar situation with Simon Witt. But we'll see what will happen to him. And of course, Flondre Wilson wasn't having a good start of the season. We'll see what happens. 23 laps around this Eifel mountain-based circuit. The Nürburgring Grand Prix Strecke. As we are here for 4 nights. Here for the European Grand Prix. And we go green in Nürburgring. Brown gets a big jump there, and Shoshana just coming around on him in second place. It's already a single file up front. There's a lot of kerfuffle on the back there, as we see right there. 3 wide going for P6, I think. As Backers trying to defend from Nick Koch. They make contact as well. That's Cesar Cohen Jr. They try to go for it. A lot of squabble going to the first couple of corners of the race. And you see another 3-wide main. Peanut Butter, Cesar Cohen Jr. and one of the Toro Rossos of Ray Montana goes up to 8th place. It's a great start for him, but here comes now Peanut Butter, comes back at the Toro Rosso driver and goes around the outside of that corner, of that famous corner, and he takes P8, and it's a tough start there for Luan, who's dropped 2 positions. The same goes with Cesar Cohen Jr., his teammate. Actually, her teammate. Luan drops down to 10th, but you see both the Toro Rossos actually making up a lot of grounds here, especially Sotiris Contagouris making up 10-9 positions from his starting spot, but he might be got overtaken by the Jaguar of Tuomela. He was trying to make up some grounds as well. He lost a couple of positions, and now you see right there, Witt now comes up to P14. Red Bull doing some decent jobs here. But there he comes now. Bivona looks to have a go on the inside of Witt, going to the tight chicane there, and he goes up to P14. And we already completed lap number 1 of the race. Henry Jack Brown leads from Shoshana, from Mihaly Savan, from Anderson, from Plebs. And then he goes Nick Koch also. She's trying to make a move on that German Red Bull driver. But back is the drop down 2 positions from his starting spot there. Mr. Peter Butter looks to have a decent form here today, up to 8th place, 2 positions up. And also Cesar Cohen Jr. and actually both of the Toyota's drivers, both of the Toyota cars, that being Cesar Cohen Jr. and Alex Luan, both in 9 and 10. They could be on for decent scoring positions here in Nürburgring. What do we see now? So I'm trying to crash this city car, as it is being a tradition of this series. There we go. done, I guess. So back on the map there, as we see the gaps is actually very stretched out very quickly, I would say. With this cars being, you know, having a lot more turbulence and a lot more dirty air, it's going to be a little bit difficult for these guys to, you know, still stay in this decent gap between the cars in front. So that means it's going to be a little bit tougher to overtake on this circuit. And we haven't even have the DRS enabled yet as well. So this could be trouble for someone. As we see now, Nick Kochner being under pressure a little bit from Adia Backers, who is trying to pressurizing her around these first couple of corners. Backers didn't do any good in his time right now, currently so far in Williams, but he's on a good position to score his first points for Williams this season. But obviously there's lots of other factors that checked in because of the pit stop as well. These tires could not last the whole race, so I mean they're gonna have to be a little bit strategic on what they're choosing here. Meanwhile, back at the next couple of laps, we're now lap 3 of the race now, and I think DRS is now enabled. Yes, it is. DRS is now enabled, and that means now these guys can follow up a bit more closely, as we're seeing here. So that means we might get a loads of DRS train coming into this couple of corners. But there goes now Brown still in the lead, but Shoshinat making some good progress from, well, he's from scoring his first pole position back at Sepang. Now he's trying to score his first, first podium, maybe even his first win of the season and his career as well in the World Formula Series. But as we've seen so far from him, he's not been doing. Might lost a bit of a little bit of pace because he's still a rookie, still getting the grips with the car after 4 races in, and especially with this being new circuit to him forever. Probably every circuit that he's about to visit in this season is all new to him. But in some of the tracks, he still has some experience from the other leagues series as well. So that prior experience from other leagues could maybe potentially help him in this season as well, to get a grips with the 2017 Formula 1 cars. But obviously you see right here, he's dropping the pace quite a lot. He's 1.7 seconds behind Brown. I think he may have a bit of troubles going into the first couple of corners. So we might have to wait and see on what's about to happen in this race. So we see right now, Shoshana is about 1.8 seconds further away from Brown. Looks to have a decent form here for Brown, but we'll have to wait and see. Milaj Vark, meanwhile, Shoshana gets to the gaps, but on Shoshana, but you see right there, Sepp Lips takes 4th place after dive bomb. Seems like a great move there on the Sauber of Tin Anderson, so he's up to 4th place. Nick Koch there, she's trying to catch up to Tin Anderson. Now, with this being, they're using these ultra soft tires, it's going to degrade it very quickly, and the wear is going to be very high on the circuit as well. It's pretty sunny hot in Nürburgring so far, so they're going to go into the pits this lap, that being the first time, so we might even see a 4-stopper in this race, and the results may be a bit shocking, as may say to someone. But there you see there, Brown is into the pits this lap, the leader is coming in this lap. Meanwhile, Shoshana, he's gonna try to overcut Brown. So now that means, yeah, Brown is gonna try to undercut Shoshana and try to make up the pace on his outlap to try not overtake Shoshana. We'll have to wait and see what will happen. Here comes now Brown. Into the pit lane he goes. Oh, but he slides off! Oh no! What? Oh no! And that's gonna be... Oh boy. And this ain't gonna... And this isn't gonna go well. And oh, we got even more contact there. There's one of the Toyotas. And we got more wrecks there on the final corner of the circuit. I think that's gonna be a safety car. Surely not. It is. Safety car is out. What on earth is even going on? Brown? Who? Oh, that's Liffy Pasalic. That's Pasalic trying to go into the pit lane. Oh, and we got even more wrecks on the back. That's Sotiris Contagouris hitting the Renault, and safety cars coming out. Oh, another car goes off. Another car goes off. What is going on? And we got a lot of cars going off and into the gravel. That's Dylan Hope. His race is done. And we got safety car for the first time in the season. What on earth is even going on today? Sid Harrison just coming out, and he's going super soft tire. So that might last a bit of a... That might last a bit longer. That will definitely last longer than the ultra soft tires, but how long it is, we don't know. But yeah, safety car is coming out, and that means Joe Scheinert is leading the race. He's leading the race, and he's not even pitting yet. So it all means that he will lead the field for a safety car period. And there is Sepp Plebs, the home favourite, having some troubles coming into the pit lane, but he comes clean this time, so he will get a pit stop without any hassle to do with the front wings and all those stuff. But what on earth is even going on at the front? Oh, that's Simon Witt! Crashes. What is even... Oh, you have got to be kidding me. The safety car just done him dirty on the circuit. Oh, he tried to brake. He was trying to brake all along. But I mean, is he trying to brake? Oh, absolutely not. He didn't try to brake at all. And that is another disaster for the Red Bull team. And another disaster weekend for Simon Witt. And now we have a couple of cars DNF. Dylan Hope, Alex Luan, Liffin Pasalic, one of home favourites as well. He's out. And now we have another one that's gonna go out, Simon Witt. And that's his teammate just coming out of the pit lane. So Poncho Shoshana will lead the field, and Nick Koch will be third place. Raymond Tanner just coming out of the pit lane. He will be in front of Mr. Peter Butter. The race changed considerably, very a lot. And there you see Contagouris coming back to the pit lane. Slatko Drobozarjevic, who were starting in P20 this race, now has more damage on the fronts. Here comes Matthew Falcon as well into the pit lane. Henry Jack Brown somehow survived from all those wrecks and still be able to come back. But he has no front wing and no rear wing, so that might take him a while to repair all the damage that he had. Here comes now Contagouris just coming out of the pit lane, and there also is Matthew Falcon as well, just coming out of the pit lane. And there you see, that's the safety car in the... I think that was about turn 9 and 10. Shamings, yep, and now it is a Haas 1-2 at this point. And it seems like, yeah, I think Mr. Peanut Butter is actually in front of Raymond Tanner, so I think Tanner, well, it doesn't, and it feels like, I think Mihaly Silva actually comes out in 9th, so he will be catching up to the field, and that is the rest of the field so far. So Henry Jack Brown, definitely look at that side pods on the left hand side. Look at that, it's all bent. So yeah, he's gonna have a lot to repair. And you see now both of the Mercs, which has actually the Mercedes AMG dome on the side of the grandstand, so they will be looking to actually maybe scoring a point here today. But what they see is just absolutely big kerfuffle in the pit stop phase. So green flag will come. So green sort of restart will come by next time around. There is Brown into the pit lane. Same with Nürburgring to fix his front wing. There you see. That's gonna take Brown a while to repair all of his damage. But now it is apparently a Haas 1-2 in front of a German crowd. This is gonna be quite the spectacular one. And it's already been a spectacular one since the start of the race in lap 5. We had a crash in the pit entrance involving that, I think that's about 5 or 6 cars involved. And now that means that these guys, we only have a couple of cars. Actually, we still have a decent amount of cars left on the field. That being 22 cars, we only have 4 cars retiring from the race. I think 7 or 8 of them got damage. So that means this would be a big opportunity for some of these guys to get up some points. And you could see Luca Farina 15 positions up from his starting spot. I think those crashes, I think it's probably benefiting him really a lot. And now he's changing to a super soft tire. Everybody has super soft tires now. That means it's gonna be an absolute thriller to the race now, as we see it right here. And I think the DRS will be enabled when the time that we going safety car free for one more lap. But there you see Scheinert, he's actually on the ultra soft tire. He's still on ultra soft tire. He didn't want to pit. I think he might want to keep the track position there. So we'll see what happens. His teammate and the rest of the field is now having the super soft tire. So we will see what happens in this race. Here comes safety car into the pit lane. Sepp Pleb's going to the pit this lap. He didn't pit earlier on, but now we're going restart once again. Oh, that's one of Wings. That's the thing. Oh, really? Sepp Pleb just lost his wing after he crashed into, well, the safety car. But here we go then, restart time, and Nick Koch straight away takes the position away from his teammate Scheinert. She takes it away, and now we have a little bit of battle here going on here as Raymond Tanner going round the outside of that Renault of Peanut Butter. Mr. Peanut Butter is still trying to hang on for 4th place, and he does. Farina looks to have a go on Peanut Butter as well, but he didn't. But here comes now Peanut Butter going on the inside of Raymond Tanner once again. It's still side by side. Now into the next couple of corners, and Peanut Butter round the outside takes it done into P3. And now it's going to be a big battle once again. Tanner looks on the inside once again on this hairpin, and he goes on the inside. I think he might have to move on, but Peanut Butter looks like he doesn't want to give up the position. He's still trying to go for it, but he has to give in that position and settle for 4th place for now. Tanner goes back up to 3rd. So this is going to be a big battle here. Farina might join into the fray of racing as well, but you see on the back there, Savard holding a move on Akatina Bivona, who was last on the back of the pack, back at Sepang. So we will see loads of actions maybe going on here in this race, but here comes now Shoshana into the pit lane, and let's just hope that he didn't slide too much. And yeah, he didn't slide too much. He comes in the pit lane pretty clean, but that is pretty too close to comfort to almost crashing into the other cars there. But yeah, he's coming to the pit clean, and he will get the tire change. So we're on lap 10 of the race so far. Nick Koch, she's went away. She went away from the field, and the closest car to her, that being Raymond Tanner, who was supposed to be like about at the back of at the back of the pack so far for the even the Constructors' Championship. The Toro Rosso was now currently at the back of the pack. They're now gonna possibly gonna get their first chance of getting a podium in this race. And then here it goes now. Tanner actually has a pretty decent gap over Mr. Peanut Butter there. About 1.9 seconds, even almost 2 seconds there. And Farina, who's 17 positions up from his starting spot, now looks to have a go for another podium, for the second podium in a row. We'll see what happens. But we'll see if he could possibly do that, because Flonjay Wilson from P20... Goodness me, I think that was P26, I think? No. Yeah, P26. She's now currently in P5 in the race. She started last today, and she's now all the way up to top 5 for the race so far, and she has a DRS. Farina also had DRS on Peanut Butter, so I feel like Farina might have a look on the inside. He has a look, but it feels like it's too much of a gap to ask for, and he settles down and stays behind Peanut Butter, but that means he's going to hold up everybody else as well. And you see that, and that's somebody who's making a move. That's Sotiris Contagouras, who was tried to come back from the crash that he had in the pit lane. But here goes now the Ferrari of Petrojan. He's not giving up just yet. He has the inside line, but then here comes now Contagouras has the inside line on this corner, and he takes it. He takes P15. And now we see another move made. That's Henry Jack Brown coming back from the brink. Maybe he just tried to absolutely every way. He has fresher tires than anybody else. But I feel like the guy who has the most freshest tires is Charles Shiner, because he pitted on about lap 10 of the race. So yeah, he has fresher tires than anybody else, but would that plan work or not for him? Because now he's plumb last in the field so far, but Nick Koch in the lead with 11 positions gain. The most positions gained now, it's now Flonjay Wilson, 21 positions up from her starting spot. He went on a further inside line. Well, you know, I feel like, yeah, let's have a look on board with Flonjay Wilson in her Tag Heuer Porsche F1 car. So this was her onboard camera. She didn't do that much good back in the first couple of rounds, but you couldn't honestly deny that. Well, she did actually score her first podium for the team back at South African Grand Prix. Could she do the same? She's only 2 positions away. She's actually 2 positions away from her second podium for the team and for herself as well. Actually, that maybe that third or 4th podium for her in her career. But we'll have to wait and see. It could be another podium for her, it could be another podium for someone. So we'll have to wait and see. But definitely Mr. Peanut Butter don't want to miss this chance of getting his first podium in the series as a whole. So we'll have to wait and see. And this is actually the first time that Renault joined the series as well. So this could be their first podium in a long time. There are actually plumb last in the Constructors' Championship so far. They're actually last. I think Toro Rosso is second last, that I was mentioned. So now this would be a great opportunity for the Renault Sport Formula 1 team to get the first podium for them. But you can see there the tires actually gone so quickly, but that being due to the safety car period as well. They couldn't warm the tires up to temperature and lost the temperature in the tires, and that might give the tires just a bit too cold to work with, and they might have to come into the pits to another pit stop as well. But yeah, Mr. Peanut Butter and the team decided, yeah, we're probably gonna pit for another fresh set of super soft tire. So yeah, the red rims We don't see that often in... Actually, we do... Well, we do see it currently in a Formula 1 season, but as being a C5 soft tire, C5, C4, C3, or whatever it is, yeah, that's the soft tire, the red rim, the red lines of the tire wall. We still see some of the... But in 2017, it's still being called the super soft tire. But... yeah, and now some of these guys in the pit lane, I hope that... Oh, Nick Koch, actually, she's going to the pits this lap as well. So I just only hope that they don't screw up, just like what the bottom guys did. So here he comes now, Koch into the pit lane. So let's hope that, yep, she's going fine. Mr. Peanut Butter, try not to go over the board. Oh my goodness me! And that's a hit from one of the Ferraris. That's Luca Farina. They actually went in safe for once. Here comes Petrosyan as well. I think, yeah, he's very clean into the pit entrance. So, oh my goodness me. So now it's Raymond Tanner leading the race now, and Farina in second place. Wilson in third, but she's into the pits this lap. Bivona in fourth place. He's back. He might be back to where he belongs, which that is winning, trying to get a consistent podium. But of course, being the McLaren 2017 cars, but it is equal performance for everyone. So equal performance of the engine for the performance of the engine and the car overall. They could potentially might be scoring podiums there for McLaren. But obviously you see there, I think that's one of the actually McLarens actually already pitted and actually comes up behind Mr. Peanut Butter as well, Jafari Blackwoods. So he's down in 17th place, and that's Nick Koch right behind Zed and Kaya, who has actually gained a lot of positions, but you see the front wing of his car actually quite bends. You see there the front wing's kind of bent off quite a lot. You see the other guys, they were not that bad considering, but here comes now Norto Miller, sends it on the inside of that chicane, and I think he might get the position done, and he still doesn't. He's going around the outside though, but here comes now Brown on the outside as well on Dear Bacchus, but Bacchus held on it pretty well. But here comes now Bacchus, may try to go down the inside. No, that's a bit too far. He stays away from it, from that position. You don't want to risk it all, otherwise his car would be total again. So now Bacchus is going to the pit lane, same with Brown. And there it is, Shoshinat, fresher tires than anybody else. He's catching up to the front now. And now you see the rest of the top 6 actually going to the pit soon. So now that means Shoshana could get some decent positions here. Matthew Falcon as well. Koch gets up to the front once more. Back up to the front once more. Making up all the grounds here. And she might even try to overtake Falcon as well. She tried to send it on the inside of that Jaguar. And she takes P8. And now she is right behind her teammate, Shoshana. Could this be a first ever Haas 1-2? This would be crazy, to be honest. It would be crazy to think that these two would actually be in front, but they could be on for it, to be honest. They could be on for it, but now both of them now using the DRS try to get past over the Sahara Force India of the Henry Jack Brown round the outside. Shoshana goes and he takes it P6. And now the rest of the top 6 now going to the pit lane. There you see everybody else. And they did not make any mistake on the pit entrance. So that means Shoshana is back on the lead. He's back on the lead with her team, his teammate, Nick Koch in second place. Playing probably the second hand, or maybe they could be fighting each other now. Because Koch has a fresher tires now than Shoshana. Shoshana has been on that super soft set of tires for quite a few laps now, but Koch just only about 2 or 3 laps there for her. So it could be on for it. Falcon is going to go to the business lap. Same with Drobozarjevic. And now Peanut Butter is now in 5th place, but he has to worry about the traffic he's going to face up ahead, because look at that. Mihaly Savak in 6th place. We're on lap 16 of the race now. We're already past the halfway mark of the race. And here comes now Blackwood. He might try to send it, but here you see Mr. Peanut Butter takes it home to P4. Now he has the other car to worry about, that being Matthew Falcon. So he probably has to hope that Peanut Butter, Falcon goes to the pit before he's even catch up to him, so he don't really lost any time. But there you see now Savak and the rest of the top 10 seems like they're stuck behind that Porsche. But here comes now Savak going on the inside of that corner. Very brave move indeed. And he's probably going to go for it. And look at that, Blackwood send it on the inside of that chicane, and now he's up to 6th place. But yeah, that's because of Drobozarjevic slowed down quite a bit to try to get into the pit lane. And there we go, he goes into the pit lane, and there is his teammate, Flondra Wilson, in 9th place. He's getting a loads of positions here, and she might even gain more, as we see right here. Flondra Wilson, he has a DRS behind Mitch Johnson. Johnson from the back of the pack, and now he's up here in 7th place. It seems like it's over for him already in qualifying session, because this track is actually a little bit more difficult to pass than the other circuits. So this is gonna be absolutely hectic for him. And it's good, and it seems like maybe Johnson could be on for another top 5 finish here today. We'll have to wait and see. Shoshana, lost a bit of the pace, but he hopes that his tires would last long enough to survive in the race. But I feel it's gonna be a 3-stopper, isn't it? I feel like it's more to be a 3-stop strategy for this race rather than a 4-stop or 2-stop, because some of these guys couldn't even try to, last the whole race. But here goes now. I think Shoshana is going to be in the pit lane pretty soon. I feel like his front row start could be gone into waste, but you never know what's going to happen in this race, and you never know what's going to happen in this particular class of motorsports. Anything could happen. And here it goes now. Tim Anderson looks on the inside of Luca Farina and feels like, yeah, Farina goes up to 9th. And now you see the rest of the guys. Raymond Tanner on the inside of the McLaren of Blackwood. Blackwood trying to hang on the outside, but it wasn't really enough, and he has to give in. Or maybe not. He looks on the inside once more. And into the next couple of corners into turn, 3 and 4. And, Tanner just had a better exit coming off of that turn 4. That gives Blackwood down to P5 now. Flondra Wilson in 6th place. Let's have a look on board with Farina. Let's have a look at this point of cam, the front wing camera. So we'll have to see what happens. Farina actually, did score a podium back in Sepang. Wasn't having the great start of this season for him with the team. Back up to, he was with Williams at one point. And wow, he's really close behind that salvo of Mitch Johnson there. And yeah, here goes now. He has a DRS. I think he might try to go for a move, and he does go for a move on Mitch Johnson, and he does take it though. He makes some more contact too, banging wheels. And I think Farina, yeah, he does, goes up to P7, and there Cohen Jr. takes over the position of Tin Anderson. And now these two are going to battle for each other for the position. And you see up front, Flondra Wilson makes a move on Blackwood once again. Blackwood losing a couple more positions, and I think Wilson takes it P6 for P5 for her. But you see loads of battles going on. I didn't expect that at all. With these cars having, more dirty air than before, because it has wider a wider car. But it seems like that wasn't the case. But here comes now Farina on the inside of Blackwood once again. Blackwood dropping lots of more positions here. He lost 3 positions in 3 laps. Or actually 3 positions in 2 laps. Or maybe he could lost more here. But now Farina up to 6th place, and he's clear to battle against the Porsche of Florence Wilson now. She's holding his own pretty well in her, well, Red Bull helmet there. But back at the front, Nick Koch, she's all the way up at the front now. And you see Mr. Peanut Butter actually in 2nd place. Oh, this could be on. Maybe this could be on for the Renault team. They might get a podium here in this race. Mihaly Savak, even though his wings seems a little bit bending, and you see right there, but he's on it. He's on for a return podium. This is probably his first This could be his first podium after his return in this season. But you see, he's gonna have to watch out the young rookie of Raymond Tanner as well, because he's on the edge. He's catching up to that Williams. Meanwhile, the rest of the pack actually really closely together. As you see right here, from 7th below, Mitch Johnson there, and then Cesar Cohen Jr. and also Tim Harrison as well. Here comes now Bivona, looks to have a go on that Sauber. He tries it, but I feel like it wasn't having enough room for him. And now he's really close on that Sauber. It's now not really. Seems to be a DRS train, but there is no DRS zone here anywhere on this section of this part of the track. So they're gonna have to wait a bit more to try and see if they could overtake them into the next couple of corners. But Vivona, he certainly has some hope that he could maybe even try to overtake some of these guys in the next couple of corners. And there it goes now. Here it goes. We're into the DRS zone. And now that means Blackwood is going to be a sitting duck to Mitch Johnson here. But he still have enough gap to hold him off in this race. And there you go. Bivona around the outside. Oh, make some contact there, Tim Harrison. But Bivona's on the outside line, so he could be in some trouble. But no, he doesn't. He sweeps around the outside, and he takes the last point position so far in this race. But there you see now Tuomela and Prem Pilch, both of them battling for position, but Pilch has the better edge. He gets up in front of Noah Tuomela, and Tuomela drops down to 13. He still has to try another way to try to overtake that Mercedes driver. But also Zor Petrosian as well. He gained 4 positions from his starting spot. We only have about a couple of laps left. We only have 3 laps to go in this race. And it's getting pretty exciting, I might say, for the rest of the field, and especially the top 3. And especially from third and below, you see now Tanner is actually now about a second away behind Mihaly Savak there, and also Florence Wilson as well, and Farina as well. So these 4 could be battling for a podium once more. Well, it feels like it might be the same situation as Sepang, but it doesn't include the safety car at all. Last race it was a safety car clean. We've been safety cars clean for almost like 5 or 6 races. I have no idea, but definitely this could be on. This is on for them. This is on. We're having the first safety car of the season, and this is probably the results. 2 laps to go in this race. There goes now. Tanner has the DRS. He tries and might to go on the inside of Savak, but it looks as though it wasn't really enough. And meanwhile, over here in 7th and below, Mitch Johnson tries it every single corner that if he could overtake of Jafari Blackwood there in 7th place, but it seems like he still can't find a way to get past him and get back into the front. And now you see it's now a field of just all running car the cars now, but you see now Backers coming back, and it goes on the inside of Petrojan, and he takes it P15. But there you go, there you see now, here comes now Porsche on the inside of Fremen Pilch. He's just making up a lot of grounds here, even though he's pitted way later than anybody else. And now Shoshinat is now up into 12th place. Could he be on into the points? We'll never know, because you see it's still a big pack in front of him, so could be anything, to be honest. But here goes now everybody else now traveling through the rest of the guys. And now here goes Tanner, goes on the outside of Mihaly Savat, and he takes P3 of the race. And now you see now the leaders already crossed the line. That means we're on to the final lap of the race here for the European Grand Prix. And it's actually really exciting so far. You see the top from third to sixth, they're still in a battle. They're still in a battle for the podium position. But Tanner is actually running away. He's 7/10 in front of Savat now. But Savat could maybe even try to catch up to Tanner if he gets into the DRS zone. But he's still about half a second slower. Half a second behind Tanner. But he has to fight for it. And now it's about 1.2 seconds now, 1.3 seconds. He's actually dropping a lot of pace. But here comes now Shoshana, backs up into 10th place. He's back on the points now. What? That's a huge comeback there for Shoshana to try to get to the points as much as he could. And here it goes, he might try to even send it on the Toyota of Cesar Cohen Jr. to make a little bit of contact here. And oh my goodness me. Shoshana, he just giving every single ounce of his capability of what he could possibly go to try to overtake the others, and he could send it for it, takes out, oh, and then Cesar Cohen Jr. spins around, and she drops to P11. That might be a little bit too aggressive there from Shoshana, but he wants this, he wants all these points, but we have to wait and see it at the front. Nick Koch, she wins it for the first time in her career, and she takes it first win for Haas. Mr. Peanut Butter's first podium for his career and for Renault. And Raymond Tanner will take his first podium for his career as well, and for the Toro Rosso team. That is one of a kind race that I've never ever seen. It's all just really just all pushing. They're all pushing for the victory there, especially Shoshana, who finishes in 9th place, coming from the back of the pack back to the front, back to the top 10. That is marvelous from him. But obviously there you see Mihaly Savat try his best but couldn't get a podium, but actually he will score Williams and his first points since coming back to this series in this season. And Flondra Wilson, another great race for her, definitely. Both women's in the top 5. What a race that was. And then Luca Farina coming back from the back of the pack after that safety car really helped him a lot. And he finishes in 6th place. Jafari Blackwood as well, finishing 7th. Mitch Johnson, I wasn't even expecting him at all that he would do this. Well, he would survive it all, and he finished in P8. Shoshana will finish in P9 after a super recovery drive from him. And then Bivona as well, he actually scored his first point in this season for McLaren. And Cesar Cohen Jr., yeah, got tagged. Seems like she got tagged by Shoshana, but that has to be under investigation there for both these two incidents. But we'll have to wait and see how the stewards will agree on that. Tim Anderson will finish in 12th place. Tormella in 13th. Wasn't really the best performance, but he tried his best. Everybody tried their best. Adia Bags finished in 14th. Fremen Pilch finished where he started in 15th. Pedro Jean up 2 positions from his starting spot, finishing in 16th. Setting Kaya 8 positions up. That's a positive for him. Definitely 8 positions up. And then Sotiris Contagures as well, being sadly been caught up in a wreck, and he will finish in P18. Matthew Falcon will finish in P19, and Robozajevic finishes in P20. Henry Jack Brown, certainly the one that caused the wrecks at all, he will finish in P21. And oh wait, actually, Seb Lips. What? 8 laps in? He only 8 laps in, and he already DNF with his teammates. Seb Lips probably might have some mechanical issues that caught him out. And Vit will finish. Unfortunately, he will finish in P23, and he will be one of the 6 DNFs in this race. That includes himself, Vit, Hoped, Luan, and then Pasalic. That's actually one of the 5 DNFs in this race. So sadly for them. But wow. A big turnaround of a race. I may feel like a big turnaround of a race. I have never expected this to happen, but Nick Koch, she's done it. She is arguably, I think, the first woman to win a race in the World Formula Series. I could be wrong. Maybe Cesar Kun Jr. did get a win or not. But we'll recheck it after this race. But wow, if I'll be honest, that is arguably one of the craziest race in this season so far. You know, last race we have a clutch move that made Noah Tormella gets his first podium of the season, and this race, safety car implications literally just changed the course of the race, and Nick Koch turned out to be the winner of this race, and she absolutely deserves it. So yeah, congratulations to the Haas team and Nick Koch as well for taking their first win of the season. And well, that's about it for the European Grand Prix here at the Nürburgring GP circuit. Next round, we are heading towards I would say another part of the Euro, but very close to the Asian part as well. It is of course the Turkish Grand Prix. We're heading back to the Istanbul Park for the 4th season in a row. Actually, it's been one of the circuits in the staple, or it's been in the staple of the circuits in the World Formula Series that has been raced for a couple of seasons now, and this is the 4th time in a row that we will visit that circuit. The circuit has been built in 2005 and being raced there was definitely another one to watch of the race. But yeah, certainly this race at Nürburgring, I've never expected to be this exciting. So yeah, so that's about it, and we'll see you there for, I think, around, we would see the race probably about the next 2 weeks. So that would be the 4th of December 2022. So now we're pretty much closing out the year with some bangers in this series. So that's it for our broadcast. So if you like this kind of content and wanting to see more of these, make sure to subscribe to the International World Tour Racing channel. You can give a like, a share, and a subscribe, or hit that notification button so you don't miss out on any new videos or content that will be coming out to you in the future. And if you'd like to join this league, I'll put the Discord link in the description below. And that's it from me today. I've been Pausa, your host and your commentator, signing off for today. Goodbye everyone.